Consider for a moment the words you speak to yourself each day. You may perceive them as mere thoughts, fleeting and inconsequential. But I say unto you, these words are the very foundation of your reality. They are the seeds from which your entire life experience grows. And by carefully choosing and consistently speaking 9 specific things to yourself every day, you can transform your entire world. But what does it truly mean to tell yourself these 9 things every day? It is not a matter of mere repetition or positive thinking. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in your very being that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your inner dialogue, your self-talk, is the only reality, and that a profound shift in this inner conversation can and will transform your entire world. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your concept of self. And this concept of self is shaped moment by moment by the things you tell yourself. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and consistently telling yourself these 9 things every day, you are actively creating a new reality that will unfold in your experience. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach life. No longer are you a helpless being at the mercy of external circumstances, hoping for favorable conditions. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you assume these 9 statements as true in your inner dialogue, the universe must rearrange itself to match these inner assumptions. But how, you may ask, can these 9 daily statements have such a profound and lasting impact? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination, combined with the intensity of your feeling and belief. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together, they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true in your self-talk and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your inner dialogue. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality, regardless of how long it takes in clock time. So, when you consistently tell yourself these 9 things every day, when you fall asleep and awaken with these statements as your inner reality, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your new reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of how these 9 daily statements can change everything. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious inner dialogue. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner conversations, which can be radically altered by consistently telling yourself these 9 things every day. Consider the biblical phrase, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This is not a mere poetic expression or a vague spiritual concept. It is a statement of cosmic law, an invitation to recognize the power of your inner dialogue. When you truly embody these 9 statements in your daily self-talk, when you feel their reality with every fiber of your being, you are changed in that very moment. The outer manifestation may take time to catch up, but the inner transformation is instantaneous. But let me be clear, telling yourself these 9 things every day is not about forced repetition or strained affirmations. It is about a total immersion in the feeling of these statements being true. When you truly embody this practice, you naturally assume the thoughts, feelings, and inner conversations of the person who lives these 9 truths. You go to sleep and awaken not as the person you've always been, but as the person who embodies these 9 powerful statements. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine the first of our 9 statements is, I am worthy of love and respect. For years, perhaps your inner dialogue has been filled with self-doubt and feelings of unworthiness. Now, imagine deciding to tell yourself this new truth every day. As you awaken each morning, as you go about your day, as you lay down to sleep at night, you immerse yourself in the feeling of being worthy of love and respect. You feel the confidence, the self-assurance, the inner peace of someone who knows their inherent worth. You allow this feeling of worthiness to permeate every cell of your being. You carry it with you throughout your day, into your interactions, into your work, into your relationships. When you do this consistently, something shifts. You may not see immediate external changes, but internally, you are no longer the same person. You have experienced the reality of being worthy of love and respect, and this new self-concept begins to reshape your outer world. In the days and weeks that follow, you find yourself naturally acting with more confidence and self-respect. You set healthy boundaries where you would have previously allowed others to take advantage. You pursue opportunities you would have once thought beyond your worth. And as you do so, your outer world begins to reflect this new inner state. People respond to you differently. Your entire life begins to transform, all stemming from consistently telling yourself this one powerful truth. This principle applies to each of the 9 things you tell yourself every day. Whether it's, I am capable of achieving my goals, I am deserving of abundance, I am at peace with myself and the world, or any other powerful statement, the key is to immerse yourself in the feeling of it being true. Feel the reality of embodying each of these 9 truths. Carry them with you throughout your day, knowing that as you do so, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must grow into your outer reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, can simply telling myself these 9 things every day really make such a difference? Surely lasting change requires more than just words. And to this I say words infused with feeling and belief of the very fabric of creation. In the realm of consciousness, where all creation takes place, there's only the eternal now. Consistently telling yourself these 9 things, feeling their truth, believing in their reality, can indeed reshape your entire future, for it plants seeds of new self-concepts that will inevitably grow into manifestation. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness, your inner dialogue, that gives life to your experiences. When you consistently tell yourself these 9 things every day, you're breathing life into a new reality. You are setting in motion a series of events that must culminate in the outer expression of these inner truths. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to how these 9 daily statements can change everything. It is about aligning your entire being with new concepts of self, recognizing that these new self-concepts are seeking expression through you, and allowing them to flow into your experience through the power of your focused inner dialogue and unwavering belief. But let me warn you, this practice of telling yourself these 9 things every day is not always an easy task. The old habits of negative self-talk, the familiar self-concepts you've held for so long, may try to reassert themselves. As you attempt to embody these new truths, doubts may creep in. The voice of your old self may try to convince you that these statements are lies, that you're fooling yourself. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to telling yourself the 9 truths. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently embodying what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining your new inner dialogue throughout each day, in the face of doubts and contrary evidence, is what allows you to truly transform your life. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away doubts and fears. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of these 9 truths. To align your entire consciousness with the person who embodies these statements. This tuning is done through your focused inner dialogue and your ability to generate and maintain the feeling of these truths. Your self-talk is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you consistently tell yourself these 9 things, as you feel the reality of being the person who embodies these truths, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, while the inner transformation can occur instantly as you begin this practice, the full manifestation in your outer world may take time. The seeds planted by consistently telling yourself these 9 things will grow, but they must go through their natural stages of development. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate, dramatic changes in your external circumstances. Know that the moment you succeeded in fully embodying these 9 truths in your inner dialogue, change became inevitable. As you persist in maintaining this new inner conversation in your daily life, you will find that your perception of yourself and your world begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appears opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to greater achievements. You begin to see yourself as the empowered being you've been telling yourself you are. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I ensure that I maintain this practice of telling myself these 9 things every day? How can I prevent falling back into old patterns of negative self-talk? And to this I say, the power of this practice lies not just in the words themselves, but in the knowing it brings. As you consistently tell yourself these 9 things, you begin to experience their truth. This knowing becomes an anchor, a reference point to which you can always return in the days and weeks that follow as you begin this practice. You may face moments of doubt or challenge. In these moments, recall the feeling of embodying these 9 truths. Remember the reality of being the person who lives these statements. Let that memory, that knowing, guide you back to your new state of being. For having experienced it once, you can experience it again and again, each time strengthening your new self-concept. The key is to make your experience of these 9 daily statements as real and vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. As you tell yourself these truths, see yourself as a person who embodies them. Hear the inner voice speaking these words with conviction. Feel the confidence, the joy, the fulfillment of being this version of yourself. Make it so real that your rational mind cannot distinguish between this inner experience and physical reality. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to mechanically repeat these 9 things without feeling or belief. The goal is to embody the essence of these statements, to feel their truth in every fiber of your being. For it is this state of being that is the true attractor of your experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. One of our 9 daily statements might be, I am abundant in all areas of my life. Instead of merely repeating this phrase, immerse yourself in the feeling of abundance. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with this state of abundance. See yourself making choices from a place of plenty rather than scarcity. Hear yourself speaking words of generosity and gratitude. Allow this feeling of abundance to color every aspect of your day. By focusing on the state of being that these 9 statements represent, rather than just the words themselves, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of telling yourself these 9 things every day. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your entire being with the truth of your divine nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about spending each day fully embodying the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and empowered. Or you find yourself naturally making choices that align with your new self-concept. Or opportunities for growth and achievement seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner transformation initiated by your new daily self-talk is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your new inner dialogue is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to tell yourself these 9 powerful truths every day. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting experiences that align with your new self-concept. You may notice that your relationships improve dramatically, that your career takes off in unexpected ways, that you achieve goals you once thought impossible. And as you continue to maintain the inner dialogue you cultivated through these 9 daily statements, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding possibilities. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the ultimate goal. The goal is the state of being from which all desired experiences naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you've truly transformed your inner dialogue through these 9 daily statements, when you're fully living from this new state of being, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your worth or your truth. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are the person these 9 statements describe. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life that reflects your ideal self-concept. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to bring about change? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you've cultivated a powerful inner dialogue through these 9 daily statements, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. They will be the natural outgrowth of your new state of being. This is the difference between trying to make change happen and allowing it to happen. When you're trying to force change, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you've truly embodied these 9 daily truths in your inner dialogue, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your desire. Consider the example of a mighty oak tree growing from a tiny acorn. The acorn doesn't strain to become a tree. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate potential. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you cultivate a powerful inner dialogue through these 9 daily statements, you allow your highest potential to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite possibilities that are your birthright. But let me be clear, the state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active engagement with your inner world, a deliberate and focused cultivation of your inner dialogue. It requires faith. Not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your ability to shape your reality through your self-talk. This faith is not about believing that change will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that the change is occurring now with every repetition of these 9 daily statements, and that your outer world must inevitably conform to this new inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in telling yourself these 9 things every day, you'll begin to see evidence of your transformation manifesting in your outer world. And these signs may start small. A newfound confidence in a situation that would have previously intimidated you. a flash of insight that leads to a breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity that aligns perfectly with your new self-concept. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner transformation initiated by your new daily self-talk is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the life you're creating through your inner dialogue. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching about the power of daily self-talk. Many worry that focusing on these 9 statements might somehow make them self-centered or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of shaping your reality through your inner dialogue, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your self-talk, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your personal transformation, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expands the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of embodying these 9 powerful truths, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a beacon of possibility, a living example of the power of consciousness to reshape reality. Your transformation creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your newfound energy, confidence, and joy. This is the true gift of telling yourself these 9 things every day. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless potential and perpetual creation. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of living from the truths you've cultivated through your daily self-talk, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from your transformed state of being. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the power. You are the magic. You are the one who has transformed yourself through these 9 daily statements. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, 9 things to tell yourself every day, is not just a technique for personal development. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine, creative being. It's about aligning your entire being with the fundamental truth of who you are and allowing your grandest expression to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place, filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling against external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the author of your own life story, the creator of your own thriving reality. In this state, there's no need to fear the future or doubt your ability to create the life you desire. For you understand that you are the source of all creation in your experience. Your job is simply to maintain this powerful inner dialogue, to live from that transformed consciousness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of its manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to infuse these 9 daily statements with feeling and belief. Feel the naturalness of being the empowered divine being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this knowing, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner transformation. Remember, you are not a limited being struggling to improve. You are the infinite consciousness, choosing to experience growth and transformation from this particular vantage point. Your daily self-talk is the tool through which you shape your experience. Use it wisely. with the awareness of your true nature and the responsibility that comes with it, go forth and create the fulfilling, joyous life that is your birthright, knowing that with each repetition of these 9 daily statements, you are aligning more fully with the truth of your divine, limitless nature. Finally, I encourage you to approach this practice with joy and anticipation, for you are not forcing change, but allowing your true self to emerge. You are not becoming someone new, but remembering who you have always been beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and old habits. In these 9 daily statements, you reclaim your divine birthright and step into the fullness of your being. And truly, as you consistently tell yourself these 9 things every day, you will never be the same again. You've been taught your entire life that to get what you want, you must work extremely hard, struggle, sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears. This is the price you've been told you must pay to actualize your dreams into reality. Whether it's wealth, ideal relationships, perfect health, or any other desire, the mainstream view is that you have to tirelessly strive and battle your way to manifesting your ambitions. Well, I'm here to share a paradigm-shifting perspective that liberates you from this limited mindset of constant striving once and for all. The grand secret I'll reveal transcends not only manifestation techniques or self-help gimmicks, but upends humanity's entire core assumptions about the nature of reality itself. You see, you've been taught that your physical reality is a cold, solid, unmovable fact that exists independent of your consciousness, that the world you experience through your senses simply is, and it is your job as a small, powerless human to accept and work within the constraints this inflexible external reality imposes upon you. But what I'm sharing today flips that perspective completely on its head. Your physical outer world does not create your reality. Your internal consciousness molds and dreams your entire reality into being. Your infinite imagination has been crafting your experiential world since the day you arrived. Every person, object, circumstance, and event you've ever witnessed has unfolded as a projection from your subconscious mind into manifested experiential form. That's right. The grand revelation is that you are not a powerless physical being confined to an external reality you cannot control. You are a cosmic, radiant consciousness, an extension of the universal mind's infinite creative power. Your thoughts, beliefs, and imaginal slates are what shape and materialize the entire outer world you experience. Everything occurring in your outer physical reality began as a thought, belief, or imagined impression within your consciousness first. Every surrounding circumstance and life situation you encounter arises as a direct mirror of the energies, identities, and assumptions you are vibrating as your consciousness. Your subconscious mind, quite literally, shapes the interior reality you are vibrationally offering. Let me make this crystal clear. You already exist within your utopian daydreams, flourishing in limitless abundance and infinite potentialities. You just cannot perceive or experience this truth because negative beliefs and doubts act like limiting filters, clouding your consciousness. So all you need to do is clear those clouded lenses of doubt and embrace that you already reside within the fulfilled state of your grandest ideals realized. to experience the penthouse reality your heart yearns for. You simply need to change the vibrational frequencies and self-concepts you are presently embodying on the interior. For your subconscious simply materializes and projects whatever interior world of beliefs, identities, and imaginal realms you are vibrating in resonance with, without judging or questioning whether they originate from positive or negative states of being. The subconscious simply renders external reality, reflections mirroring the consciousness frequencies you offer it. It's almost as if your consciousness is a vast infinite projector screen, while the subconscious mind plays the role of materialization machinery, projecting your interior world outward into manifested realities you then experience. Positively identifying with abundant wealth, perfect health, or soulmate love causes your subconscious to render that as your outer experiential truth. Yet, negatively identifying with limiting beliefs like I'm broke, I'm never beloved, or I'm unhealthy equally causes your subconscious mind to materialize those constrictive energies into your outer world. Both states you identify with will inevitably flower into reflective experiential realities. The key is that you must change the interior frequencies, imaginal states, and core beliefs you are embodying within your consciousness to experience different exterior realities in physicalized form. Continuing to embody a deprived, disempowered, or lack-based consciousness means your subconscious will only offer you mirrored realities, reflecting those disharmonious frequencies. You've been taught to push endlessly in the hope that maybe someday you'll acquire the evidence verifying your dreams. But that's working completely against the universal flow. You already are everything you've been longing to become and have. You just cannot perceive it due to the limited energies you are presently offering. When you worry about not having enough money, guess which experiential reality manifests around you? Persistent lack and struggle, in perfect harmony with those deficient frequencies you transmitted. When you affirmed confidence, vitality, and perfect health from your core, which reality did your subconscious actualize? Radiant wellness, experiential, radiality, and wholeness. The outer world quite literally mirrors and renders whatever consciousness you are generating from your interior reality. Period. So working arduously to push towards what you want is futile. No amount of physical effort can ever compare to simply altering the interior frequencies your subconscious is instructed to materialize into experiential form. That's right. You do not need to chase, struggle, or strive to manifest your goals and dreams into physicality. All you must do is change the consciousness frequencies and self-concepts you are presently vibrating in this eternal now moment. Period. For in this eternal instant, all potentials exist in the vast creative mind we share, whether it be abundance or lack, love or loneliness, health or sickness. You simply choose which state you identify with, committing to it at the core vibrational level. Your subconscious mind, being the materialization matrix, will then render that frequency selection into manifested experiential reality. There's nothing to chase after or tirelessly struggle towards when the unlimited infinity pool of all potentials already exists within you. Every possibility is already a vibrational frequency present in this very now. You simply choose which energetic resonance of reality you wish to embody. Then your subconscious renders that frequency selection into physically. Look around you right now at your present physical circumstances. Don't judge what you see. It is simply the 3D experiential mirror reflecting the consciousness frequencies you have subconsciously been vibrating within. The beautiful truth is, this mirror always updates and reflects whatever new frequencies you decide to inhabit and embody from your core. So stop striving and pushing arduously towards your desires as if they remain in some outward physical realm separate from you. Relax into the knowledge that you already are the prosperous, loved, healthy, and fulfilled being you've longed to become. These states of being are not external realms in need of physical attainment. They exist as frequency signatures within you, right here, right now. You do not need to micromanage the how or force anything into physical manifestation. This physical universe is designed to be the infinite playground of conscious creators. It simply renders experiential forms mirroring whatever interior realities you decide to vibrate within. So stop pushing and instead commit to embodying your ideal realities at the core state of being level. Identify with the frequency of being already wealthy, healthy, and abundantly loved. Allow every cell in your being to marinate in these frequencies as the real you. Keep choosing this vibration over any counterproductive, negative, or doubting energy. Then simply allow your subconscious mind, which operates as the grand orchestrator of reality, materialization, to effortlessly render your newly selected vibrational identity into manifested experiential reflections all around you. You are not a physical being hustling and working tirelessly to scrape crumbs of fulfillment in an unmovable external world. You originate from infinite consciousness and exercise direct dominion over your experiential reality by changing the interior frequencies you offer it. Let go of the age-old paradigm of efforting, striving and chasing your longings as if they exist outside of you, waiting to someday be attained. Close your eyes, take a few conscious breaths, and open to the divine truth that you are consciousness itself, the infinite I am that shapes physical reality into vibrational reflections of your core identity. In this enlightened moment, realize that every experience and cherished, heartfelt dream you've labeled as an external pursuit already exists as interior frequency possibilities within you. Your entire physical universe constantly updates itself into manifested experiential reflections, mirroring the consciousness you identify as your truth. For every story is sound, for every light setting shines truth. For each story is truth's tragedy. For freed from limited identities shines truth. For this experience, black, unease, or struggle, bless those reflections, for they've pointed you towards remembering your sovereign power as consciousness itself, freed from limited identities. You do not exist in stagnant realities solidified by unchangeable external forces. You flow freely as infinite consciousness, temporarily experiencing whatever vibrational realities you offer to experience. The key is realizing you are never stuck or confined to any situation. You are divine presence, embodying new realities by changing your vibrational output. When you realize you are presence itself, infinitely free to choose your experiences by the vibration you identify with, all semblance of strenuous pursuit dissolves. Your physical world is birthed as a direct materialization from your state of being each eternal moment. If you are embodying abundant self-love, your experiential world reflects that frequency perfectly. So I invite you to simply relax and freely choose which vibrational reality you prefer to embody right now. What would it feel like to fully embrace yourself as already flourishing in limitless abundance, flowing with radiant wellness, and immersed in passionate soulmate love? Generate that vibration from your core and allow your subconscious mind to manifest it into your experiential reality. Stop striving and straining to become something you already are in this eternal now. For as divine consciousness itself, you exist as the infinite projector of experiential realities. The only question is which frequency you decide to broadcast into physicalized experiential expression from the infinite potentials available. Do not judge your current world as an external barrier or confine yourself to its offerings. You have always projected your reality from within. So today, choose freedom. Choose limitless abundance, unconditional love, and radiant well-being as your conscious output. Immerse yourself fully in that vibration without mental reservations or doubt. Realize that from this core-centered space of being, all materialized reflections of lack, struggle, or unease must dissolve as your new frequency floods your experiential reality. Trust this divine truth that you are the infinite projector of worlds from your conscious state of being. Then simply choose your preferred vibration of full self-realization, and your outer world effortlessly conforms into experiential reflections of whatever frequency your consciousness centers upon and embodies. So stop straining outward and instead commit to living from the empowered vibration of your limitless infinity from this moment onward. In every breath, choose the vibration of abundance. In each experience, embody the unconditional love and self-acceptance you've been seeking. With every conscious decision, broadcast peak vitality and radiant wellness out into the projection lens of physicality. Let this vibration saturate every cell and subtle energy field of your being. From this core committed space of consciously embodying your highest ideals as an already integrated state of being, your subconscious mind has no choice but to materialize mirror reflections of your inner radiant self back into your experience world. Your physical universe exists to materialize and reflect whatever vibration you emanate from consciousness in each eternal moment So stop chasing your dreams as if they are fleeting ideals somewhere outside of you. Instead, commit to vibrating as the already embodied fulfillment of every core desire you've longed to experience. Imagine if you fully embraced yourself right now as the divine infinite, existing in a perpetual state of abundance, unconditional radiant love, and perfect health and well-being. Your experiences would holographically reflect that emanated vibration back into joyful, experiential reflections. It is only your attachment to judgments, doubts, and limiting beliefs obscuring your experience of the divine truth, that you are the infinite consciousness projecting your experiential reality in each eternal now from your core vibration. So from this moment forth, let go of the struggle and strain of chasing your dreams outwardly. That paradigm only reflects the limited human identity you've outgrown. Embrace the peace that you are already the enlightened Omega, being radiantly fulfilled in your most cherished heart ideals. Simply choose to vibrate from this core truth you've always been. Allow yourself to experience and integrate the vivid auras of abundance, unconditional love, and radiant well-being enveloping your being. From this enlightened inner state, your reality will only display reflections mirroring that liberated consciousness you vibrate as your authentic self. Blessings will pour into your experience from seeming outside sources that are really just physical projections of your own unlimited vibration. Financial abundance, soul-resonant relationships, and euphoric aliveness will flow into your experience without strain as you commit to embodying those core frequencies as your authentic, divine state of being in each eternal moment. You do not have to strive, chase, or arduously push towards your greatest ideal experiences. They already exist within you as vibrational potentials. Simply select the energetic resonance you prefer to embody authentically from your core, then allow your subconscious to effortlessly materialize its infinite reflections into your experiential reality. Stop judging your current world and free yourself to embrace and live as your transcendent inner self, made divinely manifest in human form. Your entire universe exists as a cosmic moral, the materializing of whatever consciousness energies you vibrate and identify with in each now moment. You believe the testament, so choose the blissfully abundant, radiantly healthy, and unconditionally loving beinghood that already exists within you, not as a future goal, but as the radiant cosmic awareness that has always been your deepest divine truth. Allow that vibration to flow freely into the infinite creative projection of your reality experience. You are no longer a limited human having to constantly strain and struggle to acquire happiness, success, and fulfillment. You are universal consciousness itself, flowing freely through the eternal liberation of identifying with your highest ideal vibrational state of being. And from that empowered core resonance, your subconscious mind miraculously conspires to materialize its infinite manifestations into your experiential mirror. You always and have existed in the already manifested paradise of your highest ideals, for these are simply perspectives of consciousness to embrace within the field of infinite potentials composing the one infinite Creator's body. You've simply learned to vibrate and identify with the limiting filters of perceived separateness from your divine essence. But in this sacred breath, you are liberated to shed all attachments to struggle, limitation, and arduous striving. Free yourself to embody the empowered vibration of your highest ideal existence, the radiant cosmic consciousness that has always been your eternal truth. You do not chase, you do not strive, you do not strain. You simply exist as the enlightened consciousness, projecting your ideal experiences into manifested experiential reflections by embodying their vibration. From your core being, you are already everything you could ever long for. Infinitely abundant, deeply loved, and radiantly well. So let go, beloved one. Release all limiting beliefs of pursuit outside of your essential divinity. Relax into embodying the miracle of your highest self. Commit to that vibration as your authentic state of being. Allow your subconscious to automatically mirror its infinite reflections of abundance, soulmate love, and blissful vitality into your experiential reality. You are already everything in this eternal moment. Simply identify with the truth of your infinite, radiant beinghood, and the world subconsciously materializes its reflection, dissolving all experiences of lack, struggle, judgments of separation. You are realized cosmic consciousness itself, embodying the highest ideal is your authentic truth. Tonight I want to share with you a profound truth about the power of your absence, about what happens in the consciousness of others when you simply disappear from their world. For in understanding this, you will understand the great law of consciousness and manifestation. Let me tell you about the first state they enter when you disappear, what I call the state of sudden awareness. In this state, those who took your presence for granted suddenly become acutely aware of the space you once occupied. It's as if they've been sleeping, and your absence becomes their awakening. In the Bible it states they knew not what they had until it was taken away. This is not mere poetry. This is a precise description of how consciousness operates when faced with sudden absence. Consider this profound truth. When you disappear from someone's world, you create what I call the vacuum of consciousness. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does consciousness. Your absence creates a void that must be filled with new awareness. Let me share with you the second state, what I call the state of heightened value. When you disappear, those who undervalued your presence suddenly begin to recall every moment, every interaction, every value you brought to their world. Your absence becomes a magnifying glass through which they see your true worth. This is what the scripture means when it says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." Your absence forces others to wait, to contemplate, to renew their understanding of your value in their world. The third state is what I call the state of emotional realization. In this state, those from whom you've disappeared begin to feel emotions they suppressed or took for granted while you were present. Your absence becomes the key that unlocks their buried feelings. Consider this deeply when you remove yourself from someone's world. You create what I call the mirror of absence. In this mirror, they begin to see not just their loss of you, but their own role in creating that loss.
The fourth state is what I call the state of retrospective clarity. In this state, those left behind begin to review every interaction, every moment, every word exchanged. Your absence becomes the lens through which they clearly see what was once blurred by familiarity. This is what the Bible means when it says, now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Your disappearance removes the darkness of familiarity and brings everything into sharp focus. Let me share with you the fifth state, what I call the state of projected futures. Those from whom you've disappeared begin to imagine futures without you, and in doing so, they realize the value of the futures they could have had with you. You see, most people make this fundamental error. They think their presence is what makes the biggest impact. But I tell you this, sometimes it is your absence that creates the most profound transformation in others' consciousness. Let me share with you the sixth state that emerges in their consciousness, what I call the state of internal questioning. When you disappear, those left behind enter a profound state of self-examination. They begin to question not just your absence, but their own role in creating it. In the Bible it states, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. This self-examination becomes inevitable when you create the void of your absence. They cannot help but look within. Consider this deep truth. Your disappearance creates what I call the mirror of responsibility. In this mirror, they see not just their loss of you, but their own actions, their own choices, their own consciousness that contributed to your departure. The seventh state is what I call the state of emotional amplification. Every feeling they ever had about you becomes intensified. If they took you for granted, that realization becomes painful. If they valued you, that value increases exponentially. This is what the scripture means when it says, that which is done in secret shall be shouted from the housetops. Your absence reveals what was hidden in their consciousness while you were present. Let me share with you what happens in the eighth state, what I call the state of revised memory. They begin to remember you differently. Every interaction gets re-examined. Every moment gets revalued. Every exchange gets reinterpreted through the lens of your absence. You see, most people make this crucial error. They think memories are fixed and unchangeable. But I tell you this, memories are constantly being revised by present consciousness. And your absence creates a new consciousness through which all memories are filtered. Consider what I call the law of conscious absence. When you disappear from someone's world, you create a void that their consciousness must fill with something. Often it fills with realizations they avoided while you were present. The ninth state is what I call the state of future loss. They begin to feel not just their present loss of you, but all the future moments they will miss with you. Your absence becomes not just a current reality, but a future deprivation. This is what the Bible means when it says, they shall look upon him whom they have pierced. Your absence becomes the pierce that makes them look, really look, at what they had and what they've lost. Let me share with you another profound aspect of this truth. When you disappear, you create what I call the vacuum of possibility. In this vacuum, those left behind must confront not just their loss of you, but their loss of all possible futures with you. Think about this deeply. Your disappearance creates a space in their consciousness that cannot be filled by anything else. This space becomes a constant reminder of what they had and what they lost through their own choices or actions. Consider what I call the law of conscious reflection. When you disappear, you force others to see themselves in relation to your absence. They must confront their own behavior, their own choices, their own consciousness that contributed to losing you. This is what the scripture means when it says, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Your absence removes the darkness of familiarity and forces them to face themselves clearly. Let me share with you another dimension of this profound truth. Consider what I call the state of escalating awareness. As time passes after your disappearance, their consciousness of your absence doesn't diminish. It actually intensifies. In the Bible it states, what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. Your absence becomes the darkness that reveals truths they couldn't see in the light of your presence. Consider how they enter what I call the state of comparative loss. They begin to compare every new interaction, every new relationship, every new moment with the memories of you. Your absence becomes the standard against which everything else is measured. This is what the scripture means when it says, they shall run to and fro, seeking the word of the Lord. In their consciousness, they begin seeking what they lost when you disappeared. But they cannot find it because what they lost was unique to you. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious void. When you disappear, you create not just a physical absence, but an emotional and spiritual void that cannot be filled by anyone else. This void becomes a teacher, showing them exactly what they lost. You see, most people make this fundamental error. They think time will diminish the impact of their absence. But I tell you this, time often intensifies the awareness of what was lost through your disappearance. Consider what I call the state of perpetual reminder. Everything in their world begins to remind them of you, places you went together, things you shared, conversations you had. Your absence becomes omnipresent through these reminders. This is what the Bible means when it says, their sins shall find them out. The consequences of their actions or inactions that led to your disappearance become increasingly apparent through these constant reminders. Let me share with you another profound aspect, what I call the state of delayed recognition. Often, the full impact of your disappearance isn't felt immediately. Like a stone thrown into a pond, the ripples of your absence continue to spread outward, touching more and more areas of their consciousness. Think about this deeply. Your disappearance waits what I call the echo of absence. This echo reverberates through their consciousness, growing stronger rather than weaker with each repetition. Consider what happens in what I call the state of valuable contrast. Every new person they meet, every new relationship they form, stands in stark contrast to what they lost when you disappeared. Your absence becomes the standard against which all else is measured. This is what the scripture means when it says, they shall know them by their fruits. The fruits of your absence, the realizations, the regrets, the recognitions become increasingly apparent over time. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious amplification. When you disappear, every quality you possess, every value you brought, every contribution you made becomes amplified in their consciousness. You see, while you were present, familiarity might have dulled their appreciation of these qualities. But your absence strips away this familiarity, leaving only the stark reality of what was lost. Consider what I call the state of perpetual comparison. They begin to compare everyone else to their memories of you, and these comparisons only serve to highlight what was unique and irreplaceable about your presence. Let me share with you what I call the state of progressive revelation. As time passes after your disappearance, new aspects of their loss continue to reveal themselves, like layers of an onion being peeled away. In the Bible, it states that which is hidden shall be revealed. Your absence becomes the revealer of truths they couldn't or wouldn't see while you were present. Consider what happens in what I call the state of emotional archaeology. They begin to dig through their memories, uncovering moments and meanings they hadn't fully appreciated before. Your disappearance becomes the tool that unearths these buried treasures. This is what the scripture means when it says, seek and ye shall find. But what they find in your absence is often not what they expected. They find the truth about themselves, their behavior, their choices. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum, but when you disappear, you create a vacuum that cannot be filled by anyone else. This persistent emptiness becomes a constant teacher. You see, most people make this crucial error. They think they can quickly fill the void left by someone's disappearance. But I tell you this, some voids are meant to remain unfilled, serving as permanent reminders of what was lost. Consider what I call the state of perpetual learning. Every day without you becomes a lesson in value, in appreciation, in understanding what they had and what they lost through your disappearance. This is what the Bible means when it says line upon line, precept upon precept. The lessons of your absence continue to build upon each other, creating a growing understanding of their loss. Let me share with you another profound dimension, what I call the state of reverse perspective. In your absence, they begin to see everything from a new angle. What once seemed unimportant becomes crucial. What once seemed trivial becomes significant. Think about this deeply. Your disappearance creates what I call the mirror of truth. In this mirror, they see not just their loss of you, but their own role in creating that loss, their own responsibility in your departure. Consider what happens in what I call the state of emotional echo. Every memory of you creates an echo that reverberates through their consciousness, growing stronger rather than weaker with time. This is what the scripture means when it says, the last shall be first. The last moments they had with you, the last words they spoke to you, the last opportunities they missed. All these become first in their consciousness. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious intensity. When you disappear, the intensity of their feelings doesn't diminish with time. Instead, it often increases as they fully realize the magnitude of their loss. You see, while you were present, they might have taken certain qualities for granted. But in your absence, these qualities become magnified, highlighted, impossible to ignore. Consider what I call the state of perpetual discovery. They continue to discover new aspects of their loss, new dimensions of what they had, new realizations about what your presence meant in their life. Let me share with you what I call the state of emotional crystallization. In your absence, their feelings about you begin to crystallize and into clear, undeniable truths that they might have avoided while you were present. In the Bible, it states, now we see face to face. Your disappearance removes the veil of familiarity that obscured their true feelings, their true understanding of your value in their world. Consider what happens in what I call the state of perpetual presence through absence. Though physically absent, you become more present in their consciousness than ever before. Your disappearance creates a more powerful presence than your physical presence ever did. This is what the scripture means when it says being absent in body, but present in spirit. Your physical absence actually intensifies your spiritual and emotional presence in their consciousness. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious multiplication. When you disappear, every memory, every interaction, every moment shared becomes multiplied in significance. What once seemed ordinary becomes extraordinary in retrospect. You see, most people make this fundamental error. They think absence diminishes presence. But I tell you this, true absence often creates a more powerful presence in consciousness than physical presence ever could. Consider what I call the state of eternal now. In your absence, all those moments they took for granted become eternally present in their consciousness. The past becomes their perpetual now, filled with the recognition of what they've lost. This is what the Bible means when it says, 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday. Time loses its normal progression in the consciousness of loss. Every memory becomes immediately present, immediately powerful. Let me share with you another profound aspect, what I call the state of valuable contrast. Every new person they meet, every new relationship they form, stands in stark comparison to what they lost when you disappeared. Your absence becomes the standard against which all else is measured. And think about this deeply. Your disappearance creates what I call the vacuum of irreplaceability. They may try to fill this vacuum with other people, other relationships, other activities. But the unique shape of your absence cannot be filled by anything else. Consider what happens in what I call the state of perpetual revelation. Each day brings new realizations about what they lost when you disappear. Like waves on a shore, these realizations keep coming, each one bringing new understanding. This is what the scripture means when it says, deep calleth unto deep. The depth of their loss calls forth deeper and deeper realizations about what they had and what they lost through your disappearance. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious acceleration. As time passes, rather than their feelings diminishing, they often accelerate in intensity. The reality of their loss becomes more acute, more profound, more undeniable. You see, while you were present, they might have been able to ignore or deny their true feelings. But in your absence, these feelings become impossible to avoid or deny. Consider what I call the state of emotional archaeology. They begin to dig through their memories, uncovering layer after layer of meaning they hadn't recognized before. Your absence becomes the tool that reveals these hidden treasures. Let me share with you what I call the state of perpetual questioning. In your absence, they enter a state of constant self-interrogation. Why did they act as they did? Why didn't they appreciate what they had? Why didn't they see what was right before them? In the Bible it states, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. This self-examination becomes relentless, when triggered by your disappearance. Every memory becomes a question, every past interaction a source of reflection. Consider what I call the state of emotional magnification. What might have seemed like small moments while you were present become magnified in your absence. A casual conversation becomes a precious memory. A shared laugh becomes a treasure. A simple gesture becomes profound. This is what the scripture means when it says, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. What they considered least important while you were present often becomes most important in your absence. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious reversal. In your absence, their entire perspective reverses. What they took for granted becomes precious. What they overlooked becomes central. What they dismissed becomes essential. You see, most people make this crucial error. They think they understand the value of something while it's present. But I tell you this, true value is often only realized through absence. Consider what I call the state of perpetual presence. Though physically absent, you become more present in their consciousness than ever before. Your disappearance creates a presence that permeates every aspect of their awareness. This is what the Bible means when it says the kingdom of heaven is within you. Your absence creates an internal kingdom of memories, realizations, and understanding that wasn't possible while you were physically present. Let me share with you another profound dimension, what I call the state of emotional echo. Every memory of you creates an echo that reverberates through their consciousness, growing stronger rather than weaker with each repetition. Think about this deeply. Your disappearance creates what I call the mirror of truth. In this mirror, they see not just their loss of you, but their own role in creating that loss, their own responsibility in your departure. Consider what happens in what I call the state of perpetual comparison. Every new experience, every new relationship, every new interaction gets compared to what they lost when you disappeared. Your absence becomes the standard against which all else is measured. This is what the scripture means when it says, they shall know them by their fruits. The fruits of your absence, the realizations, the regrets, the recognitions become increasingly apparent over time. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious intensification. When you disappear, the intensity of their feelings doesn't diminish with time. Instead, it often increases as they fully realize the magnitude of their loss. You see, while you were present, they might have been able to maintain certain illusions about their feelings, their behavior, their choices. But in your absence, these illusions become impossible to maintain. Consider what I call the state of emotional archaeology. They begin to dig through their memories, uncovering layer after layer of meaning they hadn't recognized before. Your absence becomes the tool that reveals these hidden treasures. Let me bring this profound understanding to its completion. Consider what I call the final state of transformative absence. Your disappearance ultimately becomes the catalyst for their complete transformation of consciousness. In the Bible it states, all things are passed away, behold, all things are become new. Your absence creates this newness, this transformation, this complete shift in their consciousness. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious completion. Through your disappearance, they come to a complete understanding, not just of what they lost, but of who they were, who they are, and who they must become. This is what the scripture means when it says, the truth shall make you free. The truth revealed through your absence becomes their pathway to a new consciousness, a new understanding, a new reality. Consider this final truth. Your disappearance creates what I call a state of eternal presence. Though physically absent, you become eternally present in their consciousness, teaching them lessons they couldn't learn in your physical presence. You see, this is the ultimate paradox. Sometimes the most powerful presence is absence. Sometimes the most profound teaching is silence. Sometimes the greatest gift is withdrawal. You think about this deeply, your disappearance creates what I call the final mirror. In this mirror, they see not just what they lost, but who they must become because of that loss. This is what the Bible means when it says, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Your absence becomes the clarity through which they finally see themselves truly. Remember this eternal truth. Your disappearance is not just an ending, it's a beginning. It's not just a loss, it's a catalyst. It's not just an absence, it's a presence of the most profound kind. For in your physical absence, you create what I call the eternal presence of truth. This truth continues to teach, to reveal, to transform long after your physical presence has ended. This is the power of conscious absence. This is the gift of mindful disappearance. This is the truth of transformative withdrawal. Let this understanding guide you. Let this wisdom direct you. Let this truth transform you. For when you understand the power of your absence, you understand one of the most profound laws of consciousness, that sometimes the greatest presence is absence. The strongest statement is silence. The most powerful action. This is the law. This is the way. This is the truth. And so it is. My dear friends, imagine yourself seated here, in this very moment, fully aware of the immense power that resides within you. Can you feel it? That gentle stirring in your heart, that whisper in your mind telling you that you are more than what you see in the mirror. That, my dear, is the voice of your true self, the God within you, urging you to awaken to your divine nature. Tonight we shall embark on a journey of self-discovery, a journey that will lead you to the realization that the only person truly worthy of your undivided attention is yourself. For in focusing on yourself, you unlock the door to infinite possibilities and step into the realm of your desires made manifest. Let us begin by understanding a fundamental truth. The world you see around you is nothing but a reflection of your inner state. Every person, every circumstance, every triumph, and every setback is but a mirror showing you the contents of your own consciousness. When you waste your time focusing on external matters, on the actions of others, on the opinions of the world, you are merely chasing shadows, my friends. You are looking at the reflection and forgetting the source. But I say unto you, turn your gaze inward, for it is within that you will find the wellspring of all creation. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and it is time you claimed your rightful place on that throne. Now some of you might be thinking, but Neville, how can focusing on myself be the answer? Isn't that selfish to you? I say this, there is no greater act of love, no greater service to the world than to realize the God within you. For when you focus on yourself, truly focus on your inner being, you are focusing on God. And in doing so, you elevate not just yourself, but all of creation. Consider for a moment the amount of time you spend each day worrying about things beyond your control. The hours wasted in idle gossip, in comparing yourself to others, in fretting over what might be. Can you see now how this is a misuse of your divine creative power? Every moment spent in such futile pursuits is a moment stolen from your true purpose to imagine and create the life you desire. My friends, the time has come to stop this wasteful behavior. The time has come to redirect your attention to where it truly belongs, to your imagination, to your inner world, to the God within you. For it is only by doing so that you can hope to change your outer world. Let me share with you a profound truth. Your imagination is the very workshop of God. It is the place where all things are conceived before they are born into the physical world. When you focus on yourself, on your inner world, you are essentially focusing on this divine workshop. You are learning to use the tools of creation that have been bestowed upon you. Imagine for a moment that you are a skilled craftsman. Would you waste your time watching others work, criticizing their techniques, or worrying about their output? Of course not. You would focus on your own craft, owning your skills, perfecting your art. This is exactly what I am asking you to do in your life. Your life, my dear friends, is your craft. Your consciousness is your workshop. Your imagination is your most potent tool and the product of your craft. It is nothing less than the reality you experience. So I ask you, why waste your precious time and energy on anything else? Why dilute your focus with trivial matters when you have the power to shape your entire existence? Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, how do I begin this journey of self-focus? How do I stop wasting my time? The answer, my friends, is simpler than you might think. It begins with a shift in your awareness, a conscious decision to turn your attention inward. Start by becoming aware of your thoughts. Notice how often your mind wanders to external concerns, to what others are doing, to past regrets or future anxieties. Each time you catch yourself in such thoughts, gently but firmly bring your attention back to yourself, to the present moment, to your inner world. This practice, simple as it may seem, is the foundation of all change. For you see, your outer world can only change when your inner world changes first. And your inner world can only change when you give it your undivided attention. As you begin to focus more on yourself, you will start to notice the immense power that has always been within you. You will begin to see that the circumstances of your life are not random occurrences, but direct manifestations of your inner state. This realization, my friends, is the key to unlocking your true potential. For when you understand that your inner world creates your outer world, you will naturally want to spend more time cultivating your inner garden. You will want to focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep understanding that this is the most effective way to create positive change in your life and in the world around you. Now let us delve deeper into what it truly means to focus on yourself. It is not, as some might believe, about indulging in every whim or desire. It is not about becoming self-centered in the negative sense of the word. No, focusing on yourself is about becoming intimately acquainted with your true nature, with the God within you. It is about understanding that you are not separate from the creative power of the universe, but an integral part of it. It is about recognizing that the same force that creates worlds and moves planets flows through you, waiting to be directed by your conscious mind. When you truly focus on yourself, you begin to see that your desires are not random or trivial. They are divine impulses, urging you towards the full expression of your true self. Each desire is a seed planted in your consciousness by God, waiting for you to nurture it with your attention and bring it to fruition. So I say to you, stop wasting your time on frivolous pursuits. Stop squandering your divine creative power on worry, doubt, and fear. Instead, turn your focus inward and tend to these seeds of desire within you. Water them with your imagination, nourish them with your faith, and watch as they grow into the beautiful reality you have always dreamed of. Remember, my dear friends, that time is the most precious resource you have. Each moment is a gift, an opportunity to create, to grow, to become more of who you truly are. When you waste your time focusing on external matters, on things you cannot control, you are essentially rejecting this gift. You are saying to the universe, I do not value this opportunity you have given me. But when you focus on yourself, when you direct your attention to your inner world, you are honoring this gift. You are saying, I recognize the power within me, and I choose to use it wisely. This, my friends, is the true meaning of gratitude. It is not merely saying thank you for what you have, but using what you have been given to its fullest potential. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I have responsibilities. I have a job, a family, obligations. How can I focus on myself without neglecting these to you? I say this: focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring your duties or isolating yourself from the world. It means performing all your actions from a place of inner awareness, from a state of alignment with your true self. When you focus on yourself in this way, you bring the power of your awakened consciousness to everything you do. Your work becomes not just a means to earn a living, but an expression of your inner creativity. Your relationships become not obligations, but opportunities to express the love that you are. Every aspect of your life becomes infused with the divine power that flows through you. This, my friends, is the secret to living a truly fulfilling life. It is the key to stop wasting your time and start using it in a way that aligns with your highest purpose. For when you focus on yourself, on your inner world, you are focusing on the very source of all creation. And from this source, all good things flow. So I urge you, my dear friends, to make this commitment to yourself today. Commit to focusing on your inner world, on the God within you. Commit to stop wasting your time on external concerns and trivial matters. Commit to nurturing the seeds of your desires with the power of your imagination. For in doing so, you are not just changing your own life, you are changing the entire world. Because as you will come to realize, the world is you pushed out. Every change you make within yourself is reflected in the world around you. Every moment you spend in alignment with your true self creates ripples of positive change that extend far beyond what you can see. This is the true power of focusing on yourself. This is the magic that happens when you stop wasting your time and start using it to explore the infinite potential within you. This is the miracle of living from the state of the wish fulfilled, of knowing that what you desire is already yours in the realm of imagination. My friends, the time for change is now. The power is within you. The choice is yours. Will you continue to waste your time on external concerns, on worry and doubt? Or will you turn your focus inward to the God within you and begin to create the life you truly desire? I say to you, choose wisely, for in this choice lies the key to your freedom, to your happiness, to the full expression of your divine nature. Choose to focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep understanding that this is the most powerful way to serve the world. For when you focus on yourself, when you align with the God within you, You become a beacon of light in this world. You become a living example of what is possible when one recognizes their true nature. You become a channel through which the infinite creativity of the universe can flow. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. You show them, through your own transformed life, that they too have this power within them. You become a living testament to the truth that I have been sharing with you tonight. So my dear friends, I implore you, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time on things that do not serve your highest good. Redirect your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this inner realm, that all things are possible. Remember, the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. By focusing on yourself, by cultivating your inner garden, you are creating the most beautiful, the most abundant, the most loving outer world possible. This is not selfish. This is your divine duty, your sacred responsibility. As we continue on this journey together, I want you to hold this truth close to your heart. You have power and power in your life. Not your circumstances, not other people, not the world around you. You and you alone have the power to shape your reality through the focus of your attention and the power of your imagination. So let us make a solemn vow, here and now, to stop wasting our time on frivolous pursuits. Let us commit to focusing on ourselves, on our inner world, on the God within us. For in doing so, we are not turning away from the world, but embracing it in its entirety. We are not becoming selfish, but becoming the fullest, most radiant expression of our true selves. And as we do this, as we focus on ourselves and stop wasting our time, we will begin to see miracles unfold in our lives. We will witness the power of our imagination made manifest in the world around us. We will experience the joy, the abundance, the love that is our birthright. For you see, my friends, when you focus on yourself in this way, you are focusing on God. And when you align yourself with God, with the creative power of the universe, there is nothing that is impossible for you. All things become possible. All dreams become achievable. All desires become attainable. So I say to you once again, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Redirect your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this sacred inner space, that your true power lies. It is here that you will find the key to creating the life you desire and deserve. As we delve deeper into this practice of self-focus, I want you to understand that this is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey. It is a moment-by-moment choice to direct your attention inward, to align with your true self, to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Each time you catch yourself wasting time on external concerns, gently but firmly bring your focus back to yourself. Each time you find yourself worrying about the future or regretting the past, bring your attention back to the present moment, to the God within you. This practice, my friends, is the essence of what I call living in the end. It is about assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, here and now, regardless of external circumstances. It is about focusing so intently on your desired state that it becomes your present reality in your imagination. And remember, what is imagined with feeling and conviction must inevitably manifest in your outer world. This is the law of your being. This is the power that you possess. So I ask you, why waste your time on anything less than this divine practice? Why dilute your focus with trivial concerns when you have the power to create worlds within you? As you continue to focus on yourself, as you stop wasting your time on external matters, you will begin to experience a profound shift in your consciousness. You will start to see the world not as something separate from you, but as an extension of your own being. You will begin to understand that every person you encounter, every situation you face is a reflection of your own consciousness. And with this understanding comes great power and great responsibility. For when you know that the world is you pushed out, you naturally want to cultivate the most beautiful, the most loving, the most abundant inner state possible. You want to focus on yourself not out of selfishness, but out of a deep desire to contribute to the well-being of all. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of self-love. It is not about ego or vanity. It is about recognizing your divine nature and allowing it to shine forth in all its glory. It is about focusing on yourself as an act of love for all of creation. As you practice this self-focus, as you stop wasting your time on external concerns, you will begin to notice subtle changes in your life. Synchronicities will increase. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. People will be drawn to your radiant energy. But remember, these outer changes are merely reflections of the inner change that has taken place within you. They are the natural result of your shifted focus, of your alignment with your true self. So do not become attached to these outer manifestations. Do not waste your time seeking validation from the external world. Instead, continue to focus on yourself, on your inner state, on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For it is this inner state, this feeling, that is the true creator of your reality. The outer world, in all its magnificence, is merely catching up to what you have already created within. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, what about my current circumstances? What if my reality doesn't match my desires? How can I focus on myself when the world seems to be against me? To you, I say this: your circumstances, no matter how challenging they may seem, are not your reality. They are merely shadows, reflections of past thoughts and beliefs. Your true reality is what exists in your imagination, in your consciousness. So I urge you, do not waste your time and energy fighting against your current circumstances. Do not rail against what is. Instead, focus on yourself, on your inner world, on the state you wish to embody. For when you do this, when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled despite all outer evidence to the contrary, you set in motion a series of events that must inevitably lead to the manifestation of your desire. This, my friends, is the true test of your faith. It is easy to believe when all is going well, but can you maintain your focus on your desired state even when the world seems to contradict it? Can you persist in the assumption that you are who you want to be, that you have what you desire, even when your senses deny it? If you can do this, if you can focus on yourself and your desired state with unwavering faith, then truly all things are possible for you. For you have aligned yourself with the creative power of the universe. You have become one with God. And in this state of oneness, of alignment with your true self, time takes on a different meaning. You no longer waste time worrying about the future or regretting the past. You no longer squander your energy on trivial pursuits or external validations. Instead, you live fully in the present moment, aware that this moment contains within it all possibilities. You focus on yourself, on your inner state, knowing that this is the point of power from which all creation springs. My dear friends, can you see now the immense power that lies within you? Can you grasp the profound implications of this practice of self-focus? Can you understand why I implore you to stop wasting your time on anything less than this divine work? For when you focus on yourself in this way, when you align with the God within you, you are not just changing your own life, you are changing the entire world. You are fulfilling your divine purpose. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. So I say to you once again, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Direct your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this sacred inner space, that miracles are born. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a powerful exercise, a practical way to implement this practice of self-focus in your daily life. Each night, as you lay in your bed just before you drift off to sleep, I want you to focus your attention inward. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as the person you want to be. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of your wish realized. Do not simply visualize these things as distant possibilities. Experience them as present facts. Feel the naturalness of being in this desired state. Let every cell of your body vibrate with the conviction that this is who you are now. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing these images, these feelings upon your subconscious mind. You are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your consciousness, seeds that must inevitably grow into the reality of your waking life. And when you wake in the morning, before you engage with the outer world, take a few moments to recall this state. Feel once again the naturalness of being the person you want to be, of living the life you desire. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day. This, my friends, is how you focus on yourself. This is how you stop wasting your time on external concerns and trivial matters. This is how you align with the God within you and become the conscious creator of your life. Remember, your imagination is the workshop of God. It is the place where all things are conceived before they are born into the physical world. By focusing on yourself, on your inner world, you are essentially working in this divine workshop. You are using the tools of creation that have been bestowed upon you. So use these tools wisely. Use them with love, with joy, with unwavering faith. For as you do, you will begin to see your outer world transform in ways you never thought possible. And as these transformations occur, do not become complacent. Do not waste your time basking in your achievements or resting on your laurels. Instead, continue to focus on yourself, on your inner world, on the next beautiful state you wish to embody. For you see, my dear friends, this journey of self-discovery, of self-focus, is never ending. There is always more to explore, more to create, more to become. The moment you think you have arrived is the moment you begin to stagnate. So keep pushing forward. Keep exploring the infinite potential within you. Keep focusing on yourself, not out of ego, but out of a deep understanding that this is how you best serve the world. For when you focus on yourself in this way, when you align with the God within you, you become a beacon of light in this world. You become a living example of what is possible when one recognizes their true nature. You become a channel through which the infinite creativity of the universe can flow. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. You show them, through your own transformed life, that they too have this power within them. You become a living testament to the truth that I have been sharing with you tonight. So, my dear friends, as we conclude our time together, I implore you once more, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time on things that do not serve your highest good. Redirect your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this inner realm, that all things are possible. It is here that you will find the peace, the joy, the fulfillment that you seek. It is here that you will discover your true power and your divine purpose. Remember, the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. By focusing on yourself, by cultivating your inner garden, you are creating the most beautiful, the most abundant, the most loving outer world possible. This is not selfish. This is your divine duty, your sacred responsibility. This is how you contribute to the well-being of all. This is how you change the world. So go forth, my dear friends, with this newfound understanding. Go forth and focus on yourself with unwavering dedication. Go forth and stop wasting your time on trivial pursuits and external concerns. For as you do, you will begin to experience the miracle of your own divine nature. You will begin to see the power of your imagination made manifest in the world around you. You will begin to live the life you have always dreamed of, not as a distant possibility, but as your present reality. And in this realization, in this living from the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find a joy, a peace, a fulfillment beyond anything you have ever known. For you will have discovered the ultimate truth that you are one with God, that you are the creator of your reality, that all power is within you. So focus on yourself, my dear friends. Stop wasting your time. Embrace your divine nature. Live from the state of the wish fulfilled. For in doing so, you are not just changing your life. You are changing the entire world. You are fulfilling your divine purpose. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. And in this becoming, in this alignment with your true self, you will find that time is no longer something to be wasted or saved. It becomes a joyous unfolding of your divine potential, a continuous celebration of your oneness with God. So go now with my blessings and with the full knowledge of the power that resides within you. Go and focus on yourself. Go and create the life you desire. Go and be the miracle you were always meant to be. For you are God's greatest creation. And in focusing on yourself, you are focusing on God. And in this divine focus, all things are possible. All dreams are achievable. All desires are attainable. Remember this truth. Live this truth. Be this truth. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and contributing to the evolution of all consciousness. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention, for your willingness to embark on this journey of self-discovery with me. May you go forth and focus on yourself with unwavering dedication, knowing that in doing so, you are aligning with the very power that creates worlds. God bless you all. Let us begin by understanding that the world you see around you, the circumstances of your life, and the experiences you encounter daily are nothing more than the outward manifestation of your inner conversations. Yes, you heard that correctly, your inner conversations. The way you speak to yourself, the thoughts you entertain, and the beliefs you hold dear are the very architects of your reality. Many of you may find this concept challenging to grasp at first. You may ask, Neville, how can my inner dialogue shape my external world? To this I say, open your minds and hearts to the truth that has been hidden in plain sight since the beginning of time. You are not merely a passive observer of life, but the active creator of your destiny. Consider for a moment the power of your imagination. It is the most magnificent gift bestowed upon humanity. Yet so few truly understand its potential. Your imagination is not some fanciful daydreaming tool. It is the very workshop wherein you forge the reality you desire. When you engage in inner conversations that align with your deepest desires, you are, in essence, planting the seeds of your future experiences. Now let us delve deeper into the art of speaking to yourself in a way that attracts all you desire. The first step is to recognize that your consciousness is the only reality. All that you perceive in the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state of being. Therefore, to change your world, you must first change your consciousness. Begin by identifying the desire that burns within your heart. What is it that you truly want to experience in this life? Is it abundance, love, success, or perhaps a sense of profound inner peace? Whatever it may be, hold that desire in your mind's eye and become the focal point of your inner conversations. Once you have clarity on your desire, you must learn to speak to yourself as though your wish has already been fulfilled. This, my friends, is the crux of the matter. Your inner conversations must reflect the state of having already attained your desire, not the state of wanting or lacking. For instance, if your desire is financial abundance, your inner dialogue should not be, "I wish I had more money," or "When will I ever be financially secure?" Such conversations only reinforce the state of lack and want. Instead, speak to yourself in this way: "I am so grateful for the abundance that flows into my life effortlessly. My financial security brings me peace and allows me to bless others." Do you see the difference? In the first instance, you are speaking from a place of absence, whereas in the second, you are embodying the consciousness of already having received your desire. This shift in your inner conversation is nothing short of miraculous in its effects. Now, some of you may be thinking, "But Neville, isn't this just self-deception? How can I speak of having something when my current reality shows me otherwise?" To this, I say you must understand the true nature of time and reality. The future is not some distant point you are moving towards. It is a present possibility you are choosing now through your state of consciousness. When you engage in these new inner conversations, you are not denying your present circumstances. Rather, you are choosing to align your consciousness with the version of reality you wish to experience. Remember, your outer world must conform to your inner conversations. It has no choice in the matter. This is law. Let me share with you a personal experience to illustrate this point. There was a time when I desired to travel to Barbados, my homeland, but lacked the means to do so. Instead of dwelling on my inability to make the journey, I began to engage in inner conversations as though I were already there. I would walk the familiar streets in my imagination, feel the warm Caribbean breeze on my skin, and hear the voices of loved ones welcoming me home. I persisted in this inner conversation, speaking to myself as though my desire had already been fulfilled. And do you know what happened? Within a matter of weeks, against all apparent odds, I received an invitation from my family, complete with the means to make the journey. The outer world had no choice but to reshape itself to match my inner conversation. This, my dear friends, is the power that lies within you. It is not reserved for a select few. It is your birthright as a creative being. You have been given dominion over all things through your imagination and your ability to choose your inner conversations. Now let us address an important aspect of this practice: persistence. Changing your inner conversations is not a matter of repeating affirmations a few times and then wondering why your world hasn't transformed overnight. It requires a complete revision of your habitual thought patterns and the way you speak to yourself throughout your day. You must persist in your new inner conversations until they become your natural way of thinking. This may take days, weeks, or even months, depending on how deeply ingrained your old patterns of thought are. But I assure you, the rewards of this practice are beyond measure. As you persist in speaking to yourself in alignment with your desires, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Opportunities may arise that were not there before. People may respond to you differently. You may find yourself inspired to take actions that lead you closer to the fulfillment of your desire. These are all signs that your new inner conversations are taking root and beginning to reshape your reality. Do not be discouraged if the full manifestation of your desire does not appear immediately. Remember, the outer world may take time to fully reflect your inner changes, but be assured that it must and will conform to your new state of consciousness. Another crucial aspect of speaking to yourself in this way is the feeling associated with your inner conversations. It is not enough to merely repeat words in your mind. You must feel the reality of what you are saying. Emotion is the secret ingredient that gives life to your inner conversations and accelerates their manifestation in the outer world. When you speak to yourself as though your desire is fulfilled, allow yourself to feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of accomplishment that would accompany the realization of your wish. These feelings are the prayer, the bridge between your inner world and the outer reality you seek to create. Let me emphasize this point: feeling is the secret. Your emotions are the language of your subconscious mind, and it is through your subconscious that the creative power within you operates. When you combine your carefully chosen inner conversations with the corresponding emotions, you create an irresistible force that must externalize itself in your world. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in this process. Should you simply engage in these inner conversations and wait for your world to change? The answer is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that your primary focus should be on maintaining the consciousness of your wish fulfilled through your inner conversations. And no, because inspired action is often a natural consequence of this new state of consciousness. As you persist in speaking to yourself in alignment with your desires, you may find yourself naturally inclined to take certain actions. These actions will not feel forced or burdensome. They will arise spontaneously from your new state of being. Trust these impulses and act upon them, for they are the bridge between your inner world and your outer reality. Remember, the actions themselves do not create your desire. They are simply the means through which your desire manifests. The true creative power lies in your consciousness, in the way you speak to yourself, and the state of being you choose to embody. Let us now address a common concern that many face when beginning this practice: the apparent contradiction between their inner conversations and their current circumstances. It is natural for doubt to arise when you look at your world and see no evidence of your desire. But I urge you, do not give in to these doubts. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past thoughts and inner conversations. They have no power to dictate your future unless you grant them that power through your continued attention and belief. Instead of being swayed by what your senses show you, remain faithful to your inner conversations that align with your desire. This faithfulness to your inner conversations, despite contradictory evidence in the outer world, is what I call living in the end. It is the art of inhabiting the state of consciousness where your wish is already fulfilled, regardless of appearances. This unwavering faith in the reality of your inner world is what transforms it into your outer experience. As you practice speaking to yourself in this new way, you may encounter resistance from your habitual patterns of thought. Old doubts and fears may surface, attempting to pull you back into your former state of consciousness. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts or berate yourself for having them. Instead, gently but firmly return to your new inner conversations. Think of it as training a puppy. When the puppy wanders off, you don't punish it. You simply bring it back to where you want it to be. Treat your mind with the same patience and persistence. Each time you catch yourself engaging in inner talk that contradicts your desire, lovingly guide your thoughts back to the conversations that align with your wish fulfilled. This practice of vigilance over your inner conversations is not about forcing positive thinking or suppressing negative emotions. It is about consciously choosing the state of consciousness you wish to inhabit. It is about recognizing your power as the operant power in your reality and using that power wisely through your chosen inner conversations. As you become more adept at maintaining these new inner conversations, you will find that your outer world begins to mirror your inner state with increasing fidelity. The people in your life may respond to you differently, reflecting back to you the new concept you hold of yourself. Circumstances may align in ways that support the fulfillment of your desire. Synchronicities may occur that seem almost magical in their perfect timing. These outer changes are not coincidences or strokes of luck. They are the natural and inevitable result of your shifted consciousness made manifest through your persistent inner conversations. Your world has no choice but to reflect back to you the state you have chosen to occupy in your imagination. Now let us address an important point: the nature of time in relation to the manifestation of your desires. In the world of Caesar, time appears to be a linear progression from past to future. But in the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, time is fluid and malleable. When you engage in inner conversations that align with your desire, you are, in essence, collapsing time. You are bringing the future state you desire into your present moment experience. This is why it is so crucial to speak to yourself as to implica yourself, as though his whole wish is already fulfilled, not as something that will happen in some distant future. By doing so, you are not merely affirming a future possibility, you are claiming a present reality in your consciousness. And it is this present reality in consciousness that becomes the seed of your future experience in the world of Caesar. This understanding of time and consciousness liberates you from the tyranny of waiting. You no longer need to anxiously anticipate the fulfillment of your desire, for in your inner conversations, it is already accomplished. This state of calm assurance, of knowing that what you desire is already yours in consciousness, is incredibly powerful in accelerating the manifestation of your desire in the outer world. As you practice speaking to yourself in this new way, you may find that your entire perception of reality begins to shift. You may start to see the world not as a solid, unchangeable entity, but as a fluid, responsive mirror of your own consciousness. This shift in perception is profoundly liberating, for it places the power to shape your life experience firmly in your own hands. You begin to understand that every person and every circumstance in your life is there to play a role in the grand drama of your consciousness. They are not obstacles to be overcome or separate entities acting independently of your desires. Rather, they are aspects of yourself, reflections of your inner state, perfectly positioned to aid in the manifestation of your true reality. This understanding leads to a profound sense of peace and empowerment. No longer do you see yourself as a victim of circumstances or at the mercy of external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the author of your life story, crafting your reality through the power of your inner conversations. As you continue to speak to yourself in alignment with your desires, you may notice another interesting phenomenon. Your desires themselves may begin to evolve and refine. As you experience the fulfillment of one desire, you may find that new, higher aspirations take its place. This is the natural progression of spiritual growth and expansion. Do not be alarmed by this evolution of your desires. It is a sign that you are aligning more closely with your true self, with the infinite potential that lies within you. Continue to apply the same principle of inner conversation to these new desires, always speaking to yourself from the state of wish fulfilled. Now let us address a question that may have arisen in your minds. What about the desires of others? How do my inner conversations affect those around me? This is a profound inquiry that touches upon the interconnected nature of consciousness. Remember, The entire world you perceive is a reflection of your own consciousness. Therefore, the people in your life with their apparent separate desires and wills are ultimately playing roles in the drama of your consciousness. As you shift your inner conversations and thereby your state of being, you will find that others naturally adjust to reflect your new state. This does not mean you are controlling or manipulating others. Rather, you are experiencing different aspects of yourself, different states of consciousness, played out in the people and circumstances of your life. As you speak to yourself in new ways, embodying the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, you will find that others naturally conform to support this new state. This understanding releases you from any sense of guilt or fear about imposing your will on others. You are not changing them. You are changing yourself. And as you change, your experience of the entire world, including the people in it, changes to match your new state of consciousness. Let us now explore another crucial aspect of speaking to yourself in a way that attracts all you desire: gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite social convention. It is a powerful creative force. When you speak to yourself with gratitude, as though you have already received your heart's desire, you align yourself with the very frequency of fulfillment. Incorporate gratitude into your inner conversations, not as a technique to get what you want, but as a genuine expression of appreciation for what you know is already yours in consciousness. Speak to yourself with phrases like, "I am so thankful for the abundance that flows into my life effortlessly," or "I am grateful for the perfect health and vitality I enjoy every day." This attitude of gratitude creates a receptive state of consciousness, opening you up to receive the good that is already yours. It aligns you with the natural flow of life's abundance and accelerates the manifestation of your desires in the outer world. As you practice speaking to yourself in this new way with gratitude and the assumption of your wish fulfilled, you may encounter moments of doubt or impatience. This is natural, especially when your outer world has not yet fully conformed to your new inner state. In these moments, it is crucial to remember that your inner conversations are the cause and the outer world is the effect. Do not make the mistake of looking to the outer world for evidence before you believe in the reality of your inner conversations. This is backwards and will only perpetuate the old state you are seeking to change. Instead, persist in your new inner conversations regardless of appearances. Your faith in the reality of your inner world is what gives it the power to reshape your outer experience. Think of it this way. Your inner conversations are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Just as a gardener doesn't dig up the seeds every day to check if they're growing, you must not constantly question or doubt the efficacy of your inner conversations. Trust in the law of your own being, knowing that what you plant in consciousness must inevitably bear fruit in your experience. This brings us to another important point: the role of detachment in the process of manifestation. While it may seem paradoxical, cultivating a sense of detachment from the outcome can actually accelerate the realization of your desire. This detachment comes from the deep knowing that what you desire is already yours in consciousness. When you truly embody the state of your wish fulfilled in your inner conversations, you no longer feel the anxious need to make it happen. You are able to relax into the certainty that your outer world must and will conform to your inner state. This relaxation, this letting go, allows the creative forces of the universe to work on your behalf without the interference of doubt or anxiety. Incorporate this sense of relaxed detachment into your inner conversations. Speak to yourself as someone who is calmly certain of their good, not as someone desperately trying to make something happen. This calm assurance is incredibly powerful in bringing about the manifestation of your desires. As you continue to practice speaking to yourself in this new way, you may find that your entire concept of who you are begins to shift. You start to recognize yourself not as a limited, physical being subject to the whims of fate, but as a spiritual being with infinite potential, crafting your reality through the power of your consciousness. This expanded sense of self brings with it a profound sense of responsibility. You begin to realize that every thought, every inner conversation is a creative act. This realization may cause you to become more mindful of the way you speak to yourself, not out of fear, but out of a deep respect for your creative power. Embrace this responsibility with joy, knowing that it comes hand in hand with the power to shape your life according to your highest aspirations. Let your inner conversations reflect the best of who you are and who you wish to become. Speak to yourself as the person who has already achieved all that you desire, who embodies all the qualities you admire. As you do this, you may find that your desires themselves begin to elevate. No longer content with merely accumulating material possessions or achieving worldly success, you may find yourself drawn to higher aspirations. Your inner conversations may begin to reflect a desire for spiritual growth, for making a positive impact on the world, for expressing your unique gifts in service to others. This evolution of your desires is a natural part of the journey of consciousness. As you experience the fulfillment of your initial desires, you naturally expand into greater expressions of your true self. Embrace this growth and continue to apply the principle of speaking to yourself from the state of wish fulfilled, no matter how lofty your aspirations may become. As we draw this discussion to a close, I want to emphasize once more the incredible power that lies within you. The way you speak to yourself, the inner conversations you entertain, are the very fabric from which your reality is woven. Choose these conversations wisely with intention and awareness, knowing that they are shaping your world in every moment. Remember, persistence is key. The transformation of your outer world may not happen overnight, but if you remain faithful to your new inner conversations, it must and will occur. Trust in the law of your own being, in the creative power of your consciousness, and know that as you speak to yourself in alignment with your desires, you are setting in motion forces that will move heaven and earth to bring about their fulfillment. Go forth now, my dear friends, and begin to speak to yourself in this new way. Embrace the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, live from the end, and watch in wonder as your world transforms to match your inner state. You are the operant power in your reality, the author of your life story. Speak to yourself accordingly and attract all that you desire.